An average Indian spends 5 hours a day on their smartphone. You pick up a phone just to check one message, and the next thing you know, an hour's gone. You didn't plan it, you didn't even realize it happened. Here's what's actually happening. You're not weak, you're not addicted because you lack willpower. There are actual teams of people whose job is to make these apps as addictive as possible. And they're actually really good at it. Someone is literally getting paid 6 figures to study your behavior and use it against you. And the numbers are absolutely terrifying. A study by Advertising Standards Council of India analyzed 53 of India's most popular apps, and they found that 52 of them, that's 98%, are using any one of the deceptive design patterns to manipulate your behavior. That's not a few bad actors, it's the entire industry. But here's what makes this even more disturbing. These apps aren't just copying Western manipulation tactics. They are trying to exploit Indian cultural psychology. They understand our social hierarchies, our festival emotions, our jugaad mentality for quick money, and they are weaponizing all of it against us. Today, I am exactly going to show you how your favorite apps are playing with your mind and why Indian users are especially vulnerable. By the end of this video, you will never look at your phone the same way again. Let's begin with their most dangerous trick, something psychologists call variable reward schedules. It's the same mind game casinos use to keep people glued to slot machines. You know how slot machines are addictive? It's not because you win every time. It's because you never know when you will win.
You know you're going to get the thing of value if you continue the behavior, but you don't know when, and you don't know how valuable it's going to be. When those reels are spinning, you could win nothing, you could win a couple dollars, or you could win a life-changing amount of money.
Your brain gets hooked to that unpredictability, constantly keeping you chase the next dopamine hit. Every time I open Payments app and see that scratch card option, my brain goes, oh, what if I win 100 rupees today? Even though I know it's probably 1 rupee. But I still want to scratch it. It's not a normal behavior, right? Scratch cards after every payment, that's a slot machine. Tinder swipe mechanism, slot machine. Even Flipkart's mystery deals, they are slot machines. All slot machines disguised as convenient features. Now, think about Tinder. Every swipe is a lever pull. Sometimes it's match, sometimes it's nothing. You never know when reward will come. And that unpredictability is what keeps people swiping for hours. Tinder calls it finding love. But underneath, it's the same psychology as casino slot machine, designed to keep you chasing the next dopamine hit. What they have really done is turn your phone into a slot machine while making you think it's a tool for smart decisions. The second technique is even more deceptive. These apps have turned your basic human need for connection into an addiction mechanism. Let's talk about WhatsApp status, probably the most innocent looking feature. That's actually a psychological nightmare. Research reveals something fascinating. Indians don't just post WhatsApp status for fun. The primary motivations are attention seeking, managing loneliness, and fear of missing out on connections. So addiction cycle works. You post a status, then you compulsively check who viewed it, hoping specific people saw it. Meanwhile, you feel social pressure to check other statuses too, to show you care. Third one's all about money, or more specifically how these apps mess with our psychology around it. Cashback system in apps. Every small reward feels like free money. Even if it's just 5 rupees, your brain treats it as a win. This creates what researchers call survival DNA response, making you feel more prosperous and wealthy than you actually are. But the dark twist, food delivery apps like Zomato and Swiggy offer pro memberships, promising savings on delivery fees. But the trap here, you end up ordering more frequently and spending more overall just to justify your subscription cost. You think you're saving while you are losing more money. Finally, there's algorithmic sedation, the time thief. 4 hours and 23 minutes. It's almost a part-time job. And the crazy part is you can't even remember what you watched. It was just endless content that somehow felt important in the moment. After TikTok was banned, Instagram's Indian user base exploded from 3 crores to 24 crores in just 3 years. The algorithm learns your preferences incredibly fast and then delivers endless stream of highly personalized, emotionally charged content. The result? Documented reductions in attention spans, increased anxiety, and here's the really disturbing part. People in India have died trying to create viral reels. Fatal accidents, public fights, all in pursuit of online validation. The platform's incentive structure is literally getting people killed. But you know what makes this whole thing more messed up? is how they are culturally weaponized in India. These apps have studied Indian culture better than most Indians have. These apps exploit our deep consciousness about social hierarchy. Instagram becomes the platform for wealth display and digital caste signaling. Dating apps like Tinder prioritize English proficiency and class markers as desirability signals. Social comparison theory states that we determine our own social and personal worth based on how we stack up against others. And social media platforms are engineered to maximize this tendency. This constant comparison can lead to status anxiety, and apps use this anxiety to keep users engaged, posting and consuming in attempt to climb the digital social ladder. And then there's our jugaad mentality, our cultural love for clever shortcuts and quick fixes. And e-commerce platforms exploit it perfectly. They know that during Diwali season, you are emotionally vulnerable and more likely to spend money. They know you can't resist anything that feels like a great deal. They literally create fake urgency around our biggest festival to manipulate emotions. Every cashback offer, flash sale, and limited time deal makes you feel like you have discovered a clever workaround. Save big, exclusive prices. These aren't just slogans, these are the psychological hooks designed to exploit our desire for high reward, low effort outcomes. 86% of Indians find the content in their regional language more trustworthy. Apps use this to lower your psychological defenses. When manipulative prompts and confusing terms are presented in your mother tongue, you are less likely to question them. Your native language becomes the weapon against you. It's not just about spending time on our phone. What happens on our screens can easily turn into consequences we feel in real life. A small village in Pune district erupted into chaos after one youth posted an objectionable status on WhatsApp. Within hours, anger spread to community. Over 500 people were involved in vandalism, arson, and street clashes. Properties were burned. Police had to use tear gas and lathis to control the mob. Think about that. One status update led to motorcycles and cars being torched, businesses destroyed, and entire communities thrown into violence. Just because the platform allowed the outrage to spread faster than reason.
Here's the big picture everyone's missing. This isn't really about technology, it's about power. These apps have figured out how to monetize human psychology itself. Every cultural value, every emotional need, every cognitive bias, it's all been mapped, measured, and turned into a revenue stream. The silence from within the industry is deafening. No current or former employees, product managers, UX designers, or engineers are willing to go on record discussing the ethics of their design choices. Why? Because deep down they know that these practices can't be justified. But here's what you can do right now. First, recognize the patterns. When you see countdown timers, scratch cards, and people are viewing these messages, that's manipulation and not information. Second, audit your apps. Look at your screen time, look at which apps you are using the most, and ask this question: am I choosing to use this or is it choosing to use me? Third, demand better. Support apps that respect your time and attention. Choose platforms that make money by providing genuine value and not by hijacking your psychology. The most powerful thing you can do is share this knowledge. Everyone who understands these techniques gets immune to them. Your smartphone should serve you, not the other way around. These apps aren't giving you connection, entertainment, or convenience. They are selling your attention, exploiting your culture, and profiting from your compulsions. The technology exists to create genuinely helpful digital experiences, but that requires a fundamental shift from asking how do we maximize engagement to how do we genuinely improve people's lives. Until that shift happens, the most radical thing you can do is simply look up from your screen. Have you noticed these manipulation tactics in your daily usage? Let me know in the comments, and if this opened your eyes to something new, share this with someone who needs to see this. Because awareness isn't just power, in this case it's freedom. Subscribe for more such deep dives, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.